Southwales Police.
Oh, hello, PC Griffiths. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Sorry I couldn't call you back yesterday, but obviously...
Okay, no worries. I understand. We both have commitments that got in the way.
Yeah. Do you want to talk to me about what you've called in?
Have you not got the report there in front of you?
Oh yeah, it's just so I can get your side of it. It just says that you complained about.
Right. Okay. I'll give you a brief insight because obviously I don't want to bore you to death.
No, it's just a brief that I wouldn't want you.
I have a blue badge, or my son has a blue badge. He's disabled.
Okay.
Now, last year, in March of last year, just before lockdown, it's probably about a week before lockdown, we were in the process of moving to a new office on Maddox Street. And while we were moving there, my son was we'd driven to the new office, parked up, put the blue badge in. My son and his sister then walked up to the dentist on Maddox Street. I don't know whether you know the dentist there, but there is one. Anyway, this traffic warden who's targeted me several times and my vehicle several times came over and asked if that badge was ours. And I said, yes, it's my son's. He said, where is your son? I said, he's at the dentist. He says, well, I'm going to give you a ticket because the person concerned with the blue badge has to be in the building adjacent to where the vehicle's parked. Now, that's an absolute fabrication. It's complete fabrication. So I walked away so as not to cause a confrontation. And I went back to my old office, which was the old King Cab's office by the traffic lights. Like I say, we were in a transitional period. He then decided to come into the new office on 59 Maddox Street, and he basically said to my wife, unless that vehicle's moved, I'm going to ticket you. So because I wasn't there at this time, we had a joiner in here fitting some shelving and what have you. He moved the vehicle to behind the office. Right, okay. So now what he did was completely discriminative, but I let it go. Then in September of last year, again, just before the second lockdown, as you know, we went into lockdown on the 1st of October in Conwy County. The same traffic warden was again commenting on where my disabled son was because the vehicle was parked outside my office again and the blue badge was showing. I said he's upstairs in the staff room and he demanded to see him. So I called my son down. My son got very, very distressed. And this man then, having seen my son, walked off and obviously didn't ticket us. Now, I shouldn't have had to do that and I shouldn't have had to put my son through that. Now, last week, when I phoned in and complained about him, my son, who's 14 years old, works for us when he's not at school. And it was last Monday, teacher training day. So he went out with one of the cleaning teams and quite legally, he was allowed his blue badge. This guy recognised our vans. Our vans are all sign written. It's all, they're all identical. And he approached the team leader, a girl called Emma, and asked where the person concerned was with the blue badge. And she said he's inside there. And he demanded to see them. Well, she refused to. She then phoned.
I've never heard the traffic warden ask to see.
Well, hang on a minute. I've got a little bit more. Anyway, I then, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Emma phoned me. I went along and I recorded the gentleman. One of my staff recorded him while I spoke to him. I was very polite, very courteous, and asked him why he was asking where, who the blue badge belonged to and so on and so forth. I said that he was deliberately targeting my vehicles and deliberately being discriminative to my son, and I'll be contacting the police.
Same person from every single incident.
This is the same person from every single incident. One thing I've forgot to tell you is last September when we had the second challenge with him, I recorded the confrontation. It wasn't a confrontation, but I recorded the conversation, and he knew that, so I was pointing my phone at him. And he was moaning about me phoning him. And then he phoned you guys and asked for the attention of the police because I was filming him. Well, by coincidence, one of your colleagues was driving down the road towards Trinity traffic lights. And so he flagged him down. The officer concerned stopped, got out. He moaned at the officer saying I was filming him. And the officer quite rightly turned around and said I had every right to do that. He then asked the officer to arrest me on a Section 5 public order offence, which was quite bizarre. I then challenged this traffic warden as why he lied to me about my disabled son the previous March. He said he didn't. I repeated it several times, and then he said he did. He admitted lying about my disabled son, and I've got that in a recording, and your officer was there at the time. Again, I let it go until the episode last Monday, and that's why I've complained, and that's why I would like very much if North Wales Police saw to this in a proper manner. I've looked up the rules on discrimination, etc., and quite rightly, he's broken the law so far as discrimination to a disabled person or a person associated with disabled people is concerned.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my call to make.
I know that. I know you're going to have to put it through your sergeant. Yeah.
At the end of the day, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be blunt with you there now. It doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I know you're going to have to put it through your sergeant, and because it's me, North Wales Police aren't particularly keen on me. Your sergeant will say, "We'll take it no further." Well, if that's the case, I'm going to take out a civil action, but I'm hoping the police act accordingly and deal with this gentleman in the right fashion. I have evidence that can't be disputed, and so I would appreciate it if North Wales Police would do something positive about this.
Yeah, we can have an officer go out and give this traffic warden some words of advice in regards to, because this is a civil matter, if I'm honest. Because
well, it's not.
His workplace, but he's a traffic warden, isn't he?
He is, but it's not a civil matter.
Yeah. So it's between the issue that he's raising as his work.
Yeah.
As to yourself, so that's a civil matter.
Well, no,
so it's between you and the council to sort out. Every time he comes to you, you need to address it as to why
which is
challenging you at that point.
Yeah, which is what I've done.
That's a civil matter.
Well, I am looking at the law now as you and I speak, and it's not a civil matter. I'll read the section to you. The Equality Act 2010 says that you must not be discriminated against because you have a disability, point 1. Point 2.
He believes that he's not discriminating while he's believing that he's doing his work.
Well, you've got to be.
The child's not in the vehicle.
You no disrespect, but you've got to be a fool to believe that that's the case. And I'm not calling you a fool, so please don't misunderstand me. You do not, under any circumstances, and I've never heard of it, challenge a person or persons with a disability badge to ask where the disabled person is. You don't do it. It's not right. It's unethical. It just doesn't happen. That's not part of his job, not part of his remit.
People do, though, unfortunately, don't they?
He's done it because he's deliberately targeted me. So in law, and I'm looking at the law as you and I speak, he has broken the law because...
with all due respect, I do know the law. Sorry,
right.
I feel like you're...
So do you know the law regarding discrimination?
I'm not being... You're being rude towards me. And
I'm not. I'm being perfectly courteous to you. I'm asking you if you know the law regarding discrimination, because I do. I have the act in front of me, and as you know, an act is lawful.
Right. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to email my sergeant. I'm going to say what you want doing, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, that's fine. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.